Stop what you are doing. The exhaustion you feel is not a failure. It is the final phase of a divine quarantine. You were guided to this transmission because the silent period is ending and the world you were separated from is about to witness the result of your transformation. The deep, bone-weary fatigue, the sense of being in between worlds, this is not a symptom of collapse. It is the cellular preparation for the arrival of everything you wished for. This is not a coincidence. It is an assignment. To confirm you have received this assignment, you must anchor the energy of this truth. Like this video to seal the frequency into your timeline. Subscribe to join the collective of sovereign beings who are activating alongside you. Comment 77 as the divine code that signals your conscious acceptance of your role. Then replay this video in the background. Let the words saturate your spirit and recalibrate your subconscious for the imminent shift. Do it now. The protocol has begun. Chapter 1. The silent recalibration. You have been placed in a state of divine quarantine. This is not a punishment. It is an act of profound preservation. The universe identified you as a critical asset for the next phase of reality and moved to protect you from the contamination of the old world. This quarantine is why the phone has stopped ringing with the same hollow invitations. It is why conversations with old friends feel like you are speaking a foreign language they cannot comprehend. It is why you look at the life you once lived and feel an absolute, unbridgeable disconnect, as if watching a film about a stranger. This is intentional. The system you were born into is designed to drain, distract, and dilute potent souls like yours. It operates on a frequency of manufactured crisis, superficial connection, and perpetual striving. To initiate your upgrade, you had to be pulled from its signal and plugged from its noise. This period of isolation is a sacred decontamination chamber. Every moment of loneliness you have felt was the universe carefully and methodically scrubbing their psychic residue from your energy field. Every plan that fell through was a divine intervention, a locked door preventing you from walking back into a timeline that was scheduled for demolition. You are being recalibrated. Your internal operating system is being rewritten line by line, code by code. The exhaustion is the feeling of this immense spiritual software being installed onto your physical hardware. Your body is the vessel, and it is under immense strain as it learns to hold a higher, purer frequency. While you sleep, your true work is being done. You are traveling in the astral, training, and receiving downloads that your conscious mind is not yet ready to process. This is why you wake up feeling more tired than when you went to bed, with fragmented memories of intense battles, complex lessons, and impossible landscapes. These are not dreams. They are your mission briefings. You are meeting with your guides, renegotiating soul contracts, and clearing ancestral timelines in dimensions where time and space are malleable. Your conscious mind perceives this as a restless night, but your soul knows it as a period of intense productivity. The physical world seems muted and slow in comparison because it is. You are operating on two planes at once, and the dense physical plane feels like walking through water after flying through the ether. The feeling of being bored or listless is a symptom of this quarantine. The outside world can no longer entertain you because its pleasures are designed for a lower state of consciousness. You have outgrown its games. This boredom is a gift. It is a holy void, a space cleared of all distractions so you can finally hear the singular, powerful voice of your own soul. The system fears this void above all else, which is why it bombards you with constant noise and stimulation. By embracing the boredom, you are starving the matrix of its power over you. In this quarantine, you are not losing friends, you are shedding energetic liabilities. You are not missing out, you are being spared from karmic entanglements that would have anchored you to a sinking ship. The feeling of being unseen is a form of divine camouflage. You are being hidden in plain sight while the most critical stages of your metamorphosis complete. Your energy signature is being deliberately scrambled, making you invisible to those who operate on lower frequencies of jealousy, envy, and predation. If they could see the light you are beginning to emanate, they would either try to siphon it or extinguish it out of fear. The silence is your shield. This is a period of deep listening. The silence itself has a sound, a frequency. Tune into it. It is the hum of creation, the whisper of your own higher self. This is the time to sit with the feeling of nothingness, until it reveals itself as everythingness. Do not try to break this quarantine. Do not mistake the sacred silence for abandonment. Surrender to it. Rest is not laziness. It is your primary task. Sleep is not an escape. It is your training ground. Your wish is being constructed in another dimension with the precision of a master architect, and your only job is to prepare your vessel to receive it. Every moment you honor this need for stillness, you are adding another layer to the foundation of your new reality. Resisting this process, trying to fill the void with old comforts, will only prolong the quarantine. It must be completed. This divine quarantine is the final necessary silence before the thunderous arrival of your new reality. It is the breath before the symphony begins. Chapter 2. The architects of your pain, every person who betrayed you, was a divinely contracted agent. They were not random events of misfortune. They were the architects of your pain, assigned to you before your incarnation. Their mission was precise: to break your heart so profoundly that it would crack open not to despair, but to cosmic truth. They were sent to activate your power through targeted, high-intensity pressure. Understand this, and you will be liberated from the prison of victimhood. The system of this world trains you to see these figures as enemies, as sources of trauma to be managed for a lifetime. This is a lie designed to keep you locked in a low-frequency loop of resentment and grief, feeding the very entities you are meant to overcome. The truth is far more strategic. These souls agreed to play the villain in your story so you could be forced to become the hero. The friend who spread lies about you was testing your ability to validate yourself from within, forcing you to sever your reliance on external approval. The partner who abandoned you at your lowest point was conducting a spiritual fire drill, ensuring you could locate your own inner source of strength when all external supports were removed. The family member who never believed in you was forging an unbreakable self-reliance in your spirit, hammering it into existence with every dismissive word. The boss who stole your ideas was training you to claim ownership of your genius, to build your own platform where your work could not be plundered. They were all stress testers. Their betrayals were not personal attacks. They were meticulously calibrated tests of your spiritual integrity. They were designed to reveal every weakness in your energetic armor, every codependent attachment, every unhealed wound from your lineage that needed to be cauterized. They had to push you to the absolute brink of annihilation, because it is only at that edge that a chosen one discovers their true invincibility. It is in that abyss they realize they can fly. Their karma now is to watch you rise. That is the cosmic invoice for their service. It is a non-negotiable term of their contract. They are locked into a spectator role, bound by spiritual law to witness the empire you build upon the ashes of the pain they delivered. They will see your success, not from a place of shared joy, but from a distance, feeling the sting of what they abandoned, what they failed to recognize. Their stagnation will be a mirror to your evolution, a constant, painful reminder of the power they were near but could not comprehend. This is their curriculum. They will see you radiate a light they tried to extinguish, and they will understand the magnitude of the role they played and the power they unknowingly activated within you. This is not for your revenge, but for the balancing of the universal scales. Their role was to inflict the wound. Your role is to show the world the power of a healed scar. You have already alchemized the lead of their betrayal into the gold of your wisdom. You carry the lessons, and they carry the weight. You must now look back at these architects, not with anger, but with a cold, clear understanding of their function. They were the grindstone, and you were the blade. They were necessary for your sharpening. Forgiveness, in this context, is not an emotional process of absolution. It is a pragmatic, energetic procedure. It is the final signature on their completed contract. It is an administrative act of cosmic bookkeeping. You forgive them not for their sake, but for yours, to sever the last energetic cords that bind you to that timeline and reclaim the fragments of your power that were left on their battlefield. Visualize these cords. See them extending from you to them, and with a single, authoritative command from your will, sever them. Watch them dissolve into dust. This is your declaration of energetic sovereignty. Now, their contract is complete. Their access to your energy is permanently revoked. You will feel this as a sudden emotional distance from past events. Memories that once triggered a storm of pain will now feel like a distant historical fact, like reading a case file about someone else. This is the sign that you have graduated from their curriculum. They are now ghosts in a past timeline. While you are moving into a future, they are not authorized to enter. The divine quarantine serves to finalize this separation, ensuring their frequency can no longer interfere with the new, higher frequency you are now broadcasting. They play their part. Now you will play yours. Chapter 3. The body is the battleground. Your physical body has become the front line in a silent, spiritual war. The aches, the sudden pains in joints, the ringing in your ears, the heart palpitations, the waves of inexplicable exhaustion. These are not signs of decay. They are the physiological evidence of your ascension. You are being aggressively rewired, and your body is the biological interface for this cosmic upgrade. The divine quarantine is a period of intense energetic surgery, and you are the patient, the operating table, and the surgeon all at once. The ringing in your ears, that high-pitched frequency that comes and goes, is you attuning to a new bandwidth of reality. You are beginning to hear the transmissions of the universe beyond the dense filter of the third dimension. Do not fear it. It is the sound of your psychic senses coming online. It is the dial tone of your connection to Source. The sudden jolts of energy that shoot through your limbs while you are trying to rest are your chakras being forcibly cleared and activated. Old stagnant energy and ancestral trauma are being blasted out of your cellular memory. It is an uncomfortable, sometimes jarring process, but it is a necessary purification. Your nervous system is being completely overhauled. It was conditioned by the old world to exist in a state of fight or flight, constantly scanning for threats. Now, it is being recalibrated to hold the frequency of profound peace and sovereign power. This is why you experience swings between extreme anxiety and a strange, sudden calm. Your system is toggling between the old programming and the new installation. The digestive issues, the sudden food sensitivities. This is your body rejecting the low-frequency fuel of the old world. It can no longer process the chemical and energetic poison of processed foods. Your skin breaking out is not a cosmetic issue. It is a literal purge, your largest organ expelling deep-seated toxins. The exhaustion is the most potent symptom. Your body is using colossal amounts of life force energy to rebuild itself on a molecular level. Your very DNA is being activated, unlocking dormant codes and latent abilities that your lineage has carried for centuries. Dormant strands of DNA are being lit up and zipping files of ancient wisdom and extraterrestrial heritage. You may feel a subtle, internal humming or a vibration deep in your bones. This is the physical sensation of your genetic material being rewritten, while the world sees you as resting. On an energetic level, you are performing the equivalent of building a skyscraper. This is why sleep is erratic. You are being pulled out of your body for training, for healing, and for dimensional work. Your dreams are becoming more vivid, more real than your waking life, because in those realms you are engaging with the true nature of your mission. You must treat your body not as a burden, but as a sacred, conscious partner in this process. Listen to it with unwavering devotion. The sudden feeling of vertigo or dizziness is not a medical issue. It is your consciousness momentarily shifting between dimensional realities. The intense heat or cold flashes are massive energetic purges, burning away old timelines and karmic debris. When it craves a certain food, it is asking for specific nutrients to complete a phase of the upgrade. When it demands water, it is because your electrical system requires more conductivity. Do not push through the fatigue. When your body demands rest, you must obey as if it were a divine command. Every nap is a system reboot. Every moment of stillness allows the energetic recalibration to integrate more smoothly. Grounding is not an optional spiritual practice. It is a mandatory safety procedure. You must place your bare feet upon the earth. The energy you are channeling is powerful enough to short-circuit your system. The earth acts as a grounding wire, absorbing the excess charge and stabilizing your field. The aches are your old limitations dissolving. The pressure in your head is your third eye breaking through calcification. The fluttering in your chest is your heart chakra expanding to hold a capacity for love that is cosmic in scale. This is not sickness. This is metamorphosis. You are not breaking down, you are breaking through. The battle is for your vessel, and by surrendering to its needs, you guarantee victory. Chapter 4. The abandonment of the old blueprint. You entered this life with a blueprint, a pre-written code of conditioning, trauma, and limitation. This blueprint was not your own. It was a composite of your ancestral lineage, your societal programming, and the karmic debts you agreed to carry. It dictated your patterns, your attractions, your fears, and your perceived glass ceilings. It was a survival program for a world you are now tasked with transcending. The purpose of the divine quarantine is to facilitate the complete and total abandonment of this false blueprint. You are undergoing a spiritual identity wipe. The person you thought you were is being systematically dismantled, and this process is profoundly disorienting. The discomfort you feel is the resistance of the old code fighting its own deletion. You will look in the mirror and feel a sense of unfamiliarity, not with your face, but with the energy behind your eyes. That is the new consciousness beginning to anchor. The inner child wounds that have resurfaced with such ferocity are not a regression. They are the foundational files of the old blueprint being brought to the surface for final review and deletion. You were conditioned to believe you had to earn love, that your worth was contingent upon your achievements, that rest was a form of failure. This was the core programming designed to turn you into a predictable, manageable cog in the system. The universe is now forcing you to confront the root of this lie. It is creating situations where your old coping mechanisms, overworking, people-pleasing, seeking external validation, no longer function. They fail spectacularly, forcing you to find a new way of being. This is why your ambition feels both supercharged and strangely hollow. A part of you, the new you, is ready to build empires, but the ghost of the old blueprint whispers that you must do it to prove your worthiness. This internal conflict is the sound of the two systems running simultaneously before the old one is shut down for good. Notice the subtle forms of self-sabotage that appear. The sudden urge to procrastinate on a project that excites your soul. The intrusive thought that tells you you are an imposter. These are not your thoughts. They are the final automated transmissions of the dying program, like error messages on a screen before a hard drive is wiped clean. This abandonment is not just personal, it is ancestral. You are the one who was chosen in your bloodline to stop the cycle of trauma. The patterns of poverty, addiction, and victimhood that have plagued your family for generations end with you. The weight you sometimes feel is not just your own. It is the collective grief of your ancestors passing through you to be healed and released into the light. You are a living portal for generational healing. This is a monumental task, and the quarantine provides the necessary space to sever those ancient chains without interference. The relationships that are dissolving are the ones that were built on the foundation of the old blueprint. They were attracted to your wounds, your patterns, and your perceived limitations. As you heal and integrate the new, authentic blueprint, you become vibrationally incompatible with these connections. The separation is not a personal failure, it is a systemic necessity. Letting them go is a critical step in the abandonment process. You are being taught sovereignty. The old blueprint was based on codependence and outsourcing your power. The new blueprint is based on a direct, unbreakable connection to source. You are learning to be your own provider, your own healer, your own authority. This is why you feel so alone yet so powerful at the same time. The quarantine provides the sterile environment needed for this new foundation to set without interference. In the coming weeks, you will be presented with a choice that directly pits the old blueprint against the new. It will appear as a tempting offer that appeals to your old need for security or validation. Perhaps a job that pays well but stifles your soul. Your ability to decline it without hesitation will be the final exam of this chapter. Do not cling to the wreckage of the old identity. Do not mourn the person you are leaving behind. They were a mask, a role you played. The abandonment of the blueprint is your liberation. It is the most profound act of self-love you will ever undertake. You are not losing yourself. You are finally, irrevocably finding yourself. Chapter 5. The treason of false rest. The system you are leaving behind has a powerful and insidious sabotage program, the concept of false rest. You have been conditioned to believe that rest is the cessation of labor, but you have been offered only counterfeit versions of it, designed to keep you in a state of low-grade depletion. Scrolling mindlessly through your phone is not rest. It is a transference of attention that drains your life force and overstimulates your nervous system with fragmented, low-frequency information. Binge-watching series is not rest. It is a form of psychic numbing that prevents you from processing the upgrades you are receiving, filling your subconscious with manufactured narratives and emotional states. Engaging in gossip or superficial social gatherings is not rest. It is an expenditure of precious energetic currency on bankrupt accounts, a leakage of your vital power. The endless pursuit of self-improvement content from a place of feeling broken is also a form of false rest, a frantic activity disguised as stillness that reinforces the core wound of not enoughness. These are all forms of false rest traps designed to keep you occupied and depleted, making you feel like you are taking a break, while actually deepening your exhaustion and keeping you tethered to the matrix of distraction. The divine quarantine is forcing you to confront this treason. It has stripped away the efficacy of these old distractions. You find now that they leave you feeling emptier than before. The shows do not hold your attention. The endless scroll feels repulsive. The small talk is physically painful. This is a sign of your heightened sensitivity. Your spirit is rejecting junk food. It is demanding pure, nourishing sustenance. True rest, the kind your soul is screaming for, is an active state of surrender and receiving. It has a palpable, energetic signature of expansion and grounding, whereas false rest leaves an aftertaste of anxiety and depletion. True rest is a conscious unplugging from the matrix. It is lying on the floor and doing nothing, allowing your body to communicate its needs without the filter of your mind's agenda. It is sitting in silence and observing your thoughts without judgment, allowing them to pass like clouds. It is walking in nature and allowing the frequency of the earth to recalibrate your nervous system. It is sleeping without an alarm, trusting that your body knows the exact amount of time it needs to complete its nightly work in the other dimensions. For the chosen one, true rest is a weapon. It is a revolutionary act of defiance in a world that demands constant productivity. Your deep, unapologetic rest is terrifying to the old paradigm, because when you are truly rested, you are connected to your power. You are no longer suggestible. You can no longer be controlled by manufactured urgency. You become a sovereign being. Your rest starves the parasitic entities that feed on human stress, anxiety, and exhaustion. Your stillness is an act of spiritual warfare. The system cannot function without your constant, anxious energy. By withdrawing it, you are casting a vote for a new world. This system actively promotes and celebrates burnout culture, framing exhaustion as a badge of honor. To choose true rest is to reject this toxic ideology at its core. It is to declare that your well-being is not for sale and your energy is not a commodity. Your inability to relax, the discomfort you feel in stillness, is the old programming fighting for its life. It tells you that if you stop moving, you will be forgotten. If you stop striving, you will fail. If you stop producing, you are worthless. These are the foundational lies of the slave matrix you are escaping. You must now treat rest as your most critical mission, schedule it, defend it fiercely, announce it to yourself and others, not as a request but as a non-negotiable directive from your higher self. The wish that is coming for you is enormous. It will require a level of energy, clarity, and stability that you have never known before. You cannot receive this monumental blessing from a state of depletion. The universe is holding it in escrow until your vessel is fully charged and prepared to sustain it. Any attempt to hustle or force its arrival will only delay it. The final key to unlocking the doors of your quarantine is to master the art of true rest, surrender. Do nothing. In that sacred void of non-action, everything will finally be done. Chapter 6. Prophetic echoes in the void. As you approach the end of your divine quarantine, the veil between worlds will begin to thin for you. The void of your isolation will cease to be silent and will start to fill with prophetic echoes, signs and synchronicities that confirm your path and signal the imminent shift. You are being prepared to see the new reality before it fully materializes. Pay attention. These are not random occurrences. They are breadcrumbs from your future self, guiding you through the final steps of your transformation. The numbers will be the first and most persistent sign. You will see 111, 222, 333, 444, and especially 77 on clocks, license plates and receipts. These are not mere coincidences. They are digital high fives from the universe confirming that you are in perfect alignment with the divine plan. Each sequence is a nod of encouragement, an energetic checkpoint affirming that your upgrade is proceeding on schedule. 77 in particular is the signature of spiritual mastery and the successful integration of your lessons. Your dreams will become intensely lucid and instructional. You will no longer be a passive observer in your dreamscapes. You will become an active participant solving problems, receiving direct guidance from beings of light and rehearsing scenarios for your new life. You will wake with a clear memory and a feeling of having accomplished significant work. These are no longer dreams. They are your nightly briefings. Keep a journal by your bed, as the instructions given in these states are direct orders for your waking life. The natural world will begin to communicate with you directly. A hawk will circle overhead at the exact moment you ask for a sign of strength. A deer will cross your path when you are contemplating a move toward gentleness. Feathers will appear in impossible places. You will feel the intelligence in the trees and the wisdom in the wind. This is your dormant connection to Gaia being reactivated. You are remembering the language of the earth, a language the old system tried to make you forget. Songs will begin to play at precisely the right moments, the lyrics answering a question you just held in your mind. You will overhear snippets of conversations from strangers that contain the exact piece of information you were needing. The universe is using every available channel to speak to you. You will also experience non-physical sensory input. You may hear your name called when no one is there. This is your spiritual team trying to get your direct attention. You may smell a specific fragrance like flowers or incense, with no physical source signaling the presence of a high vibrational guide. You may feel a sudden comforting touch on your shoulder when you are feeling at your lowest. These are not hallucinations. They are proof that you are never alone. Notice also how technology behaves in your presence. Lights may flicker, your phone or computer may glitch or act erratically. This is not a malfunction. It is a reaction to your rising electromagnetic field. Your personal energy is becoming so potent that it is beginning to influence the physical environment around you. This is a clear indicator of your increasing power. People from your past will suddenly reappear. Old friends, former lovers, and distant relatives will reach out, often with messages of apology or a sudden interest in your life. Be discerning, this is a test. Some are being sent to witness your transformation and acknowledge the light they once dismissed. Others are energetic parasites drawn to your rising power, attempting to re-establish a connection before your ship leaves the harbor for good. Feel their intention. Do not just listen to their words. Your intuition, that quiet knowing in your gut, will become your primary sensory organ, overriding logic and reason. It will give you a full body yes or a no, and you must learn to trust its guidance without question. In the coming days, the next sign will be an animal you do not normally see in your area. It will appear at a moment of deep contemplation, perhaps looking directly at you. This is your personal power animal, arriving to escort you through the final gate. Do not dismiss it, acknowledge it, thank it, and know that its arrival is a major milestone. You will also experience moments of temporal distortion. Time will seem to speed up and slow down. You might lose an hour or experience a whole day in what feels like a few moments. This is a side effect of your consciousness beginning to anchor into the fifth dimension, where time is not linear but fluid. These echoes are the universe showing you its hand. It is giving you irrefutable proof that a reality exists beyond the one you were taught to see. Your role is to receive these signs with quiet knowing. Do not seek validation for them from those outside the quarantine. They cannot see what you see. These messages are for you alone. They are the final checks and balances before the system goes fully online. They are the sound of the locks on your new reality beginning to turn. Chapter 7. The unlocking sequence. The end of the divine quarantine will not be a gradual transition. It will be a sudden, definitive event you will feel in every cell of your being. It is the unlocking sequence, a moment when the new reality you have been preparing for collapses into your physical experience. This is the arrival of your wish. It will not come as you expect. Forget the fantasies of a slow, gentle dawn. This will be more like a lightning strike, instantaneous, electrifying, and irreversible. One morning, you will wake up and the exhaustion will be gone. Not just diminished, but entirely absent, replaced by a current of pure vital energy you have not felt since you were a child. The air in your room will feel different, lighter, charged with potential. The very quality of the light will have changed, as if a dull grey filter has been lifted from your vision, revealing a world of vibrant, saturated color. You will feel a cosmic click, an undeniable shift in the fundamental frequency of your existence that will be the first physical sign. Within hours the dam will break. The opportunity you have been waiting for, the one that seemed impossible, will not knock. It will break down your door. An email, a phone call, a message from an unexpected source will arrive, presenting you with the exact key you need to build your new life. It will be direct, clear, and will require an immediate and courageous. Yes, there will be no time for hesitation. All the training, the resting, the recalibration, it was all for this moment of decisive action. The universe has conspired to bring you this chance, and your only task is to accept it with the full force of your being. This moment will feel both terrifying and exhilarating. A leap of faith off a cliff into a future you can feel but cannot yet see. Saying yes will mean saying a final definitive no to the last vestiges of your old life. Simultaneously, the karmic scales will visibly balance. News will reach you not through your seeking, but through passive channels of the architects of your pain, facing the undeniable consequences of their actions. An empire will crumble. A reputation will be shattered. A hidden truth will come to light. You will not feel joy or revenge, only a quiet, profound sense of order being restored to the universe. This is the final energetic receipt confirming that their contracts are closed and their influence over you is permanently nullified. As you step out into the world, you will be seen. The divine camouflage will fall away and people will look at you differently. Strangers will be drawn to your light, and those who knew the old you will be stunned into silence, unable to reconcile the person standing before them with the one they thought they knew. Your frequency will be your new introduction, speaking volumes before you ever utter a word. Opportunities will begin to flow to you with an effortless grace. The right people, the necessary resources, the perfect ideas will appear exactly when they are needed, as if the universe is now your personal assistant. This is the state of divine flow you have earned. The struggle is over. Your thoughts will manifest with startling speed. Be impeccable with your inner world, for it will now project onto the outer world almost instantly. You are no longer just participating in reality. You are actively creating it. The life that unfolds after the unlocking sequence will be one of profound purpose and alignment. The obstacles that once seemed like mountains will reveal themselves as molehills. Easily overcome, you will feel carried by an invisible current, guided and supported in every endeavor that is aligned with your soul. Mission, the unlocking sequence, is the moment your wish becomes your reality. The quiet, isolated life of the quarantine will shatter, replaced by a dynamic, purposeful and divinely guided existence. The rest you were commanded to take was to store up the power for this exact moment. You are the arrow that has been pulled back on the cosmic bow for what felt like an eternity, held in a state of immense potential energy. The unlocking sequence is your release. You will fly now with impossible speed and unerring accuracy directly into the heart of your destiny. The world has waited for your activation. Do not look back. There is nothing there for you now. There is nothing there for you now. There is nothing there for you now. There is nothing there for you now.